Welcome to Long Story Long. I'm your host, Lisa Curry. Today's guest is my lovely dear friend, Kat Ageson. She is a whiskey sommelier, something like that, whatever you call it, whiskey and scotch expert. Let's say that. This was a really great conversation. I always enjoy talking to her, and I think you're going to love listening to us. So here you go. Hey, Kat, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
Fun. If I would have known we weren't recording, I would not have sprayed all that dry shampoo on my
hair. Yeah. I just have stopped posting videos because I'm so tired of doing my makeup all the time.
Yeah, totally.
It's really great to see you.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in a minute.
Can you French braid your own hair? That's exciting.
I can't.
That's exciting.
Yeah, for all the listeners, I can French braid my own hair, so pretty impressive. I am so excited to hear your story. I know you're from Nebraska, and then that's it, and then that's all I know until present day.
That's I'm from Omaha, born and raised.
Did you go to college in Omaha?
No. I went to two, not just one, but two theater conservatories in New York. First, I went to the American Academy of the Dramatic Art, and then I went to the New Actors Workshop and studied under Mike Nichols and Paul Sills and George Morrison.
Wow.
And, went to school longer than most people do because of like the rehearsal hours and like two theater conservatories. But do I have a degree? No.
Degrees are overrated, though.
Yeah, not like anyone needs one.
Yeah.
But there have been times where I, would have liked that stamp on my hand. But so then I just like always figured I would like do theater and like wear a black turtleneck and like, you know what I mean? Just like, and I was always just like, no, I want to act. And
so like you're thinking like more modern theater, like,
oh yeah, like the Fugazi of theater. Like I'm gonna be like so fucking cool and like I'm never gonna do a Kleenex commercial because I'm way too cool. And then like I stayed. I was in New York for 5 years, and then so my parents
Did you
got
love it?
divorced. I loved it, every minute of it. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Wait,
but
so then your parents got divorced? Sorry.
Yeah.
Jumping
Yeah.
all
No.
over.
So though it's so I moved to Omaha for a year to save up money to move to LA, and it was like this weird. Yeah, this weird thing where I was just like, wait a minute, like why am I glad my parents got divorced? Like, oh, you need me, right? You need me. I should probably be there. Yeah, I should probably be there. So that like was just kind of informing that I didn't want to be in the city anymore. But I do like saying that I really feel I'm 38 and a half. I feel like I was in 2006 sincerely the last of the people that could live in Manhattan and work part-time as a waitress.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, I worked at Avenue A Sushi, and I mean, but like that was, I had like a major hookup. My apartment was like 750 something. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, it was like, I remember when I moved there, I got like, because my friend was just like, okay, we're roommates. And I'm like, I didn't even see the apartment. I'm just like, East 7th and Avenue A, great. And then I peeked in and I got scared and I'm just like, no, like to the movers, I was like, no, this is the closet. This isn't my room. And it was the closet. But I mean, it was a tiny room, a tiny closet. It had a window. It was in the basement. The window faced the trash. So on those hot trash days in New York, it was
just like,
yeah.
The scent coming off of that is, it's so rancid to even walk by for a moment, let alone to waft into your room.
Dude, I was the garbage man, I'm sure. But like but like when you're young, you just like, you're like, this is cool. And but yeah, so then when I moved to Omaha for a year, moved to LA in 2008 and 2007, 8, 2008, and I very quickly lost interest in anything acting.
Really?
Whatsoever.
What do you think was the catalyst for that?
Oh God, just like, I was, nannying and working in restaurants all the time, and it just felt like everything so I was broke, but everything felt like a scam for actors. And I
Yeah,
and I
that's
just
an accurate read.
I fell for every single one. Do you
Oh
know what I mean?
no.
Like, oh my God, yeah, like guys catfishing me and pretending they're agents, and they actually like their emails would have like the ICM or like the CAA signe, and they would like lure me to coffee shops, and you know what I mean? Or just try to like, I swear to God, like just try to have phone sex or something.
No, no,
And
no.
yeah, and like just all these casting workshops and what else? What are the agent showcases? And it was just so, and just every single person was like, well, you need new headshots. Every person you meet, is, you need new headshots. And
Yeah.
like headshot photographers would be like, here, now look in the camera and just give me a look that says,
Yeah.
let's screw.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, really? You just said
No.
let's screw to me? And then
Yeah.
you got a lot of wrinkles on your forehead. I'm like, cool.
Dude, the new headshots thing is also like, I'm not going to have a new head for the next round
Right.
of pictures.
Yeah.
What do you fucking want? This is what my face
Especially
looks like.
especially when these people that you're sending them to, they're supposed to be creatives. So it's like fucking creatively use your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was in like a movie that was good, and then like it was like $3,000, and I was just like, oh, well, this is just how it's going to be for the rest of my life. So I like spent it on art, and then like pretty much never had another like paying job again. But then like I don't know, I got into improv, and then always wanted to do stand up, but just never had the confidence because I hung out with comics. I hung out with like Mike Bridenstine and like Mike Holmes and
Oh,
the
nice.
other Mike Holmes, Mike Bridenstine, and Mike Burns. And they were just such a tough crowd, that I was like, I could never do this. And then I broke up with my boyfriend and got like, um, just like, all right, I need to do something new to shake it up. And comedy was just so fun because I could get up and
Wait, is this the boyfriend that
talk.
you were with when we met?
No, no, this was
Oh,
in like
okay.
2012. He was like this model Burning Man idiot, and God love him, but we just, we're not a match. And but
Uh-huh.
like he always encouraged me to do comedy, and so when we broke up, I did. And when I broke up with him, I started doing a show, and it's so nice because when people say like, "Oh, do you do comedy anymore?" I really love saying no. Like I really
Mm-hmm.
love saying like there's no shame in starting an endeavor and then not. You know what I mean? Like I've done it all my life, and I think it's kind of noble to be like, well, I want to do this now.
Yeah.
But what I did garner from that is how much I love hosting shows, and
Yeah.
I love comedy, I love comics, I love like meeting them and like hyping them up on
Mm-hmm.
stage and like
You're
inviting
you're
people
the
to my
best hype
show.
man ever.
It's so fun, like to like see somebody and be like, wow, they're great, and then like find them and be like, do my show. And but I digress. That was like I was already doing whiskey when I started producing that comedy show that I cared so much about. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. It's so fun because like I don't have to summon any humility for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't have to be like, well, I'm self-deprecating, but I
Uh-huh.
I was always interested in scotch as a hobby. I always would go to whiskey shows, like Whiskey
Mm-hmm.
Live and the Single Malt Whiskey Extravaganza, which was they were like $100 tickets. I could not
Wow.
afford it, you know what I mean? And nobody would ever go with me, so I would always go alone, and I would take notes on this like whiskey journal of everything I tried at every show, and like look it up and look at the geography and the water source and like write down the tasting notes. And probably like I don't know, like maybe the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, like maybe the fifth year I
Mm-hmm.
was doing these, like I was like going to these shows just like as like a curious like learner. Uh, I met this guy, and by the way, I just like to, working in restaurants all my life, I became acquainted with what scotches are on the shelf, and like, how
Yeah.
there's a shift drink at restaurants, like after your shift, where they like pour you a well drink or a house wine or whatever. The bartenders would always let me have the top shelf expensive whiskeys because they were like, because Cat fucking sells it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I would just be like, no, have the Brie Latte. Like, why would you get the Jameson
Yeah.
when you could get this?
I trust you implicitly with whiskey
Oh,
stuff
it's so
and always
fun.
have. I've always been like, but you are so knowledgeable
You should.
and
Yeah.
you're charming. I feel like
Oh.
you could sell me anything.
Oh, I try hard. And that's yeah, so now I do sell actually, but like um it started because I would go to these, I would learn about whiskey like as a hobby, and then this one show, it was like late, everybody was kind of trickling out, and I sat down. It was at the um Los Angeles Athletic Club
Hmm.
downtown, which is really cool. But I was like sitting at this little love seat, and this guy sat next to me in a kilt, and we just started talking, and he was like, "What's that in your drink?" And I'm just like, It's the new Carchus Lafroig." And he was like, "They poured that for you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "They reached under the table." I'm like, "They sure did." And he was like, and he introduced himself to me, and he was just like, "Okay, well, this is what I'm tasting." He's like, "This is what I'm drinking." And he gave me his glass, and I took a sip of it, and I was like, um, he was like, "What do you get from that?" And I said, "Raisin toast."
Hmm.
And he said, "Here's my card. Like, we're hiring." And I was like, "No, no, 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 no. This is for experts. I could never do anything like this." Like,
How long ago is this?
you
Like,
know,
what year is this now?
2012 or
Uh-huh.
13. And so I forgot about, I was just like, whatever. And then I completely forgot about it. And then um my in 2000, like, yeah, like 13, 14, I was cleaning my sofa and I found his card like months
Hmm.
later. And I just said, "Hey, like we met months ago at this. I'm not asking for a job. Like, I
Hmm.
just maybe you could give me some guidance and like be my touchstone, because I do think that this I could make this into not a hobby but like a career." And
Yeah.
he was just like, "Well, we're hiring." And so after like a couple of phone interviews and like no
You keep
experience.
being like, no, but I'm not ready. And he's like, no,
Yeah,
you absolutely are. What are
I
you
know.
talking about?
I'm such a moron. And so after like a couple of phone interviews, they flew me out like business class,
Wow.
Chicago, put me up at this nice hotel for all this training and testing. And it was just like, are you kidding me? Like, I have always been this like minimum wage kid or the help,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And now I'm like being treated like a fancy whiskey lady. Um, yeah, and then I began working as a single malt specialist for the Glenlivet and Aberlour. And the exciting thing about that was within months they promoted me to the Scotch Master with Scotch Master duties.
That's
So
incredible. Wait,
yeah,
so
yeah,
you said you like flew to
Chicago.
Chicago for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You didn't relocate to Chicago for a time,
Oh
did
no,
you?
no, no, no,
Okay.
because they were looking for one in Los
Oh,
Angeles.
okay.
But then they were flying me to Chicago and Philadelphia and like San Francisco to, do jobs of the Scotch Master, which was really exciting. So,
What does that include? Because I'm like, that sounds crazy to me. That sounds like you were the president of Scotland for a moment.
well, I'll tell you, the person that got me into it, the gentleman that I sat down with, his name is Rick Edwards, and
Uh-huh.
he gave me his card and I sent him an email back, or I sent him an email. And when he sent me his email back, it said Rick Edwards,
Hmm.
winner of 2013 Icons of Whiskey, which is a huge award. So not just a huge award for him, but a huge award for the United States, because
Really?
yes, the icon of whiskey was Rick Edwards, and in California, not like Scotland or
Is
Japan
it
or
so
something.
it's typically somebody
Yeah,
overseas?
it's usually a guy with a big red beard and a kilt, you know, or like a master distiller or like a master blender, or like a you know somebody really big, like the guy at Diageo that created the Masters of Scotch team. But yeah, so I sat down and impressed like the most important person you
Yeah.
could on a complete,
Like
just
what felt like a fluke, I guess.
yeah, yeah, like a serendipitous, I don't know, luck.
Uh-huh.
But then so the single malt specialist thing was just like you would go to liquor stores or bars and restaurants, and there'd be people that are already there. They've bought tickets, they've signed up, and you would just walk them through all of the expressions, like, well, this is the 12 and this is the 15 and blah, blah, blah. Field any questions. And then when I was promoted to Scotch Master, that was fun because like you got to travel and
Mm-hmm.
stay at nice hotels. And it's always like the Soho house. There's
That
one
is
in
the most
Chicago.
exciting thing. Like
Oh,
I'm new to people flying me places and putting me up,
oh,
and it's like, oh, this is a different experience entirely.
yeah, I know. Speaking, I was like so vicarious through your trip,
Well, thank you.
to Dubai. Like not like but seriously, like Lisa, like when I was flown to Waco, I was over the fucking moon.
Yes, of
And I know and I
course.
and I know that you would have been
Uh-huh.
too. Do you know what I mean? Because like Waco is just as exotic to me as Dubai. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because it's
Like,
like the act of somebody being like, "We want you here so
yeah.
badly that we're going to fly." I mean, I'm fucking in 2 weeks. I'm flying to, I don't know when this episode will drop. So
Where?
in September, I'm being flown to Wasilla, Alaska for shows,
Alaska.
and I'm like excited out of my mind, like
Where,
equally
hang on,
excited as
where is
Dubai.
Wasilla on the map? I'm
That's
looking it up
where
because you might be
Ding
able to
Dong
see
Sarah
some,
Palin is from.
you might be able to see some northern lights at that
I would
time.
love that. That would be
Hang on.
incredible.
Okay.
But I
Um,
want to get back to like your whiskey stuff.
well, yeah,
So you're
so
being
then
flown all over.
yeah, and I continued that for a couple of years and it was, tremendous. However, it was not full time and it was, feast or famine because whiskey has
Wait,
a
so at this point,
season
are
and
you still like waiting tables on the
mhm.
side, or
Yep,
oof,
and nannying. Yeah.
Christ, that's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
did you? And it's like I'm sure it was hard to show up at your nanny job and be like, somebody just flew me across the country, so I'm gonna need you to step it up.
thankfully they just, I mean, because they know like, the pipeline of nannies is the kids go to school and they don't need me full time anymore. So they were really encouraging of me finding something else, and like the place where I waited tables, the mustard seed, everyone was like encouraging, like, cool, like, they wouldn't cover my shift if I wanted to go to Coachella,
Yeah.
but they'd cover it if I, so patriarchal. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, no, I decide why you can
Yes,
be
yes,
off
yes.
work, you
That's
know?
the worst thing about
Oh
restaurant
my God.
jobs. They're like, yeah.
Yeah. Is it okay? My mom's dead. Can I go? No,
Yeah.
give us proof. I'm just looking at a map real quick. Okay. Hopefully I'll, we'll circle back on this
Well, we
Northern
will.
Lights thing. But so yeah, but the thing that they kept doing is, and I mean, like, this was for the Glenlivet. This is like the number
Hmm.
one best-selling scotch, globally. They kept dangling full-time, glorious, salaried, perky positions in front of me and then hiring a guy. And it happened a
No.
lot. But like they kept asking me to apply. And so I'd get my hopes up. And like at one point I got really close and I thought I was going to have to relocate to San Francisco, which would have been a bummer because I don't like the Bay Area at all. It's a bummer. Just,
It's
I
not
don't
for
like the
me.
vibes. Not at all. And so, and I would have been making so much more, and my lifestyle would not have improved at all,
Yeah.
in San Francisco. So, so then I was poached by an American whiskey company, which I never thought I would do that jump ship because I love Scotch. I don't like American whiskey. I don't like the flavor profile. I'm not like, try this bourbon, it's so great. Or I wasn't at the time. And then, but the salary was so good. So it was like 75K, all these perks. They paid for my cell phone bill. They paid for gas.
Whoa,
They paid
whoa,
for my internet. Like,
whoa.
I was like whining and dining. Like I had like $2,500 that I had to spend at accounts per month. So I was like bawling out of control, like taking people out, like drinks, dinner, so forth. And but I was selling this whiskey called Balcones, which is from Waco, Texas. And again, and I love that I get to brag to you, because like you don't. need always professional experience. You just need to know your shit, you know?
Yeah.
So
Well,
I was,
that's one thing about you that I think is such an asset, that you just simply know what you're talking about, and it's
yeah.
not, there's no ego attached to it. It's not. I feel like
Oh, you bet there is. Oh my
not
God. You should see me
outwardly, I
manage.
guess.
You should see me manage my I also write for a whiskey review, so I co-edit a whiskey review site,
Mhm.
and like guys are always chiming in the DMs and I just read them for filth all the time,
I
you know.
love that so much. I've seen some of your what can you say the name of the blog for everybody to
Oh,
check it
yes,
out?
it is malt dash or yeah, malt hyphen, what is that? Malt hyphen review.com. So
It's
the
so
malt
great. Some of
review.
the like, and I don't know shit about whiskey, but watching you post stuff and then guys react like crybabies and you just come for them. I, it's taught me a lot, and I've actually come around to some people that have said things to me in my DMs or in my comments, and I'm like, listen, motherfucker, you don't know what you're talking about,
At
and don't ever
all.
come to me like this. And yeah,
Like, and I just like, wouldn't you be like, if you were going to like respond to something with like vitriol, wouldn't you be so sure you knew what you were talking about?
yes,
Like, wouldn't you
yes.
just, I'm just like, you know what? With the laziest fucking Google search, you could have figured this out. But, uh, but yeah, so, um, in terms of the Balcones, like Texas poaching job, it's a lesson that I learned and I needed to learn it. No job, like no amount of money is worth selling something I don't love.
Yes.
And Balcones had, you know, a smattering of whiskeys that I did not like. They were fine, but there was one called Brimstone, which was smoky, which I was obsessed with. And so because I loved it, like you could see like nationally the sales team, like, you know, other people are selling like these whiskeys that are more
Hmm.
popular and cheaper, but in LA it's just like Brimstone, 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 Brimstone. So it's like I really brought that one to LA. And anyways, but and I just wanted to brag, the sales team, when we had like our orientation in Waco, everyone was just like, "You didn't do in-person interviews?" Everybody had had a string of in-person interviews,
Oh
and I was
wow.
just like, and I'm like, "Nope, just one phone interview," and they flew me out because I came highly recommended, you know. And so, yeah, so then I after a year they let go of like 25 jobs, including my bosses. So even though
Oof.
I know, even though like they fired my boss too, like I couldn't take it personally, even though I do to this day, and revenge will be mine. But
That's
so
hilarious.
yeah, but like then with that severance that they gave me, I was able to take that Scotland trip, you
Oh
know. So
yeah,
yeah,
that was
hmm
when the Scotland trip in 2018,
18,
when you
yeah,
and
and
I met up over there.
yeah, that's what I do whenever I have a windfall of money. I just blow it right away.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, let's get rid of this.
Let's go to
I can't
Scotland.
handle having money.
But yeah,
Um,
so then I was looking to find a job for a long, long time after that. Like I was like on unemployment. I can't like pretty much if you go on any shelf, every single bourbon and scotch that's like a big seller, I interviewed for. I interviewed
wow.
like two working interviews for there. You know, I can't tell you how many times I like made it so far in interviews that I'd get my hopes up, you know, and then so in
Wait, tell me about this trip to Scotland. I mean, because I know obviously I ran into you in Edinburgh and we hung out and split an Airbnb, which was the most fun.
so
But
fun.
I
Oh
don't
my
really
God.
know that much about the actual experience of you being like
Oh,
doing what you were doing over there.
it was just oh, it was so nice. So I went to the Springbank Whiskey School,
Hmm.
which they only accept a few people, you know, because it's small.
Hmm.
And so a lot of people are waitlisted for a really long time. But strangely, I was like only waitlisted for a few months. And, you know, my boyfriend at the time was like, well, they just needed a woman. And I'm like, yeah, thanks.
Oh, give
But
me a
I mean,
break.
regardless, it was like just the best 2 weeks of my life. And it was so fun. It's so fun to travel to remote places. Like that's all I'm interested in. Like now. Like I
Yeah.
don't want to go to a city that has like a Sephora and a Zara and a Mac store. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
I want to take a plane, to take a train, to take a ferry, to take a bus,
Yeah.
to like Hicksville. But yeah, oh, it was incredible. And I, went to every distillery and, tried my birth year scotch from a barrel and,
Oh, I
you
love
know,
that.
wept at the sea. And so it was perfect to like kind of end that trip with you, like with comedy and like,
Hmm.
fun, because
Yeah.
it was, it was such a beautiful trip, but it was also like excruciating because
Because
I
I
was.
thought you were gonna say because it was cold. Because it was cold as fucking windy.
Oh, but I remember you like seeing pictures of me in like parkas and scarves, and you were
Yes,
just like,
yes, yes.
excuse me, I brought a light jacket. And I'm like, nope, down parka. Like,
Yeah, I
it's
was in
bullshit
trouble
cold.
on that trip. That was because I was like, it's May.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine. It's not fine. You need to wear basically a sleeping bag in
Yep,
Scotland at all times.
at all times, pretty much. Yeah, it was like I don't know. I think Anthony Bourdain said something about traveling will break your heart or something like that.
Yes.
And it I knew that things were not going to work out with my boyfriend at the time, who I was like in love with and wanted to marry, and also I was going to like my Mecca, like Springbank
Hmm.
and in Campbellton and Isla, and so I don't know, just really, it was a terrific experience, and I want to go back so bad. I Dana and I were gonna go on a sailing trip and get to visit literally the most
Hmm.
remote island distilleries,
Ooh.
and then COVID.
Oh yeah.
I know, and I thought, okay, we'll do it this year, and they're not doing it this year, so holding
No,
out for
hopefully
next
next
year, I
year,
guess.
yeah. Where would those places be? Where's these remote places
But
for
I
whiskey?
think you start out in like either Belfast or Dublin. I
Hmm.
don't know the geography right
Sounds
now
lovely.
of Ireland, but like whatever a ship can sail away from, and Belfast or Dublin, I don't know, and then you'd go to like the Isle of Mull, and then the Isle of Skye, and then the Orkney Islands, and then you end up, I believe, around Inverness.
Uh-huh.
Um, oh, it would have been so nice, and it was really cute because like the description of the trip like had itinerary, and like under the
Uh-huh.
Q&As it said, and Dana was insistent that he wanted to go with me, even though he gets
Hmm.
seasick. And I'm like, baby, it's, I would hate if I went and had a great time, but had to worry about you having a bad
It's
time.
having a terrible time.
Yeah, fucking
See, I
just
don't
meet
really
me.
care so much about that. You're so sweet. Like if somebody comes on a trip with me and they're having a bad time, I'm like, well, it's time for you to suck it up. So
You're on your own. Um, so like in the Q&A, it was just like, well, what if I want to go on this trip, but I don't drink whiskey? Will there be other things I can enjoy? And the answer is pretty much like, go fuck yourself. Like
I
there was like,
start.
yeah, you could take a walk, or you could walk through you could see the sights, you
They're like,
could
we'll
bird
throw one of the
watch,
lifeboats off the ship for you. You could fucking paddle yourself in.
you can have some coffee, like whatever. But yeah, so I just wanted to impart there is no salary that is worth selling what you don't like. It was
Hmm.
miserable. That job was like a heart attack 24/7. And so then, like in early 19, I was at a whiskey show, and a buddy of mine, Trevor, was like, I was in a really bad mood too. Because, like, said boyfriend and I, we had broken up, and I had been,
And you guys had been like living together, right?
no, but
Or like,
we'd been dating for 4 years. And so it was
yeah.
like, yeah, it was rough. So it was like, I was, suffering through that, like a total like life change. And then couldn't, like, just was so sick of not getting these jobs and having these interviews, like
Hmm.
get my hopes up. And I was working at the Tam O'Shanter, which has, I mean, I selected to, get paid $13 an hour there because it's like Scottish history in
Yeah.
LA and has like some of the rarest collections of scotches.
Really? I did not
Um,
know that. I thought it
yeah,
was just like a,
but it's
you know,
also a Lowry's corporation, and it
oh
was
yeah.
like, I mean, I had to like excuse myself to go to the bathroom and cry. Like every time I saw
Oh.
like every time I saw like a happy couple with like babies,
Oh
I'd be
God,
like,
yeah.
because I mean, right after a breakup, it was horrible. And then, but at
It,
this,
it is
sorry,
the worst.
I'm
And
all
they're
over the
like
map,
just
like,
playing romantic music, and you're like, son of a bitch.
yeah, yeah. I feel like I'm like barfing my experience on you, so we can talk about other fun things. But let me brag. So I tried this whiskey at this whiskey show because my buddy was like, "Have you tried the new whiskey from Sespe Creek?" And I'm like, What is that? No." Pff, like I was in a foul mood, and then I tried it, and it was just so loud and it was so crowded that I like isolated myself into this like little corner and like plugged my ears, and I was like, "What is this? Pff, this smells like mezcal. It smells rancid. I don't like it." And then I took a sip, and I'm like, oh, this does not taste what I thought it would taste like from
Hmm.
the nose. And then the finish was something else. And then the like, you know what I mean? The mid palate was something else. And then I took another sip, and it was just like it it I was like that guy at the end of Ratatouille, where
Uh-huh.
it brought back some sense memory I hadn't thought of in a long time. So I tracked down the distiller, got him on a
Uh-huh.
phone call, interviewed him, and did a review of his whiskey for this blog, and then interviewed him on my podcast at the
Uh-huh.
time. And then basically was just like angling for a job, and he told me he couldn't afford me because he couldn't. They didn't have one sales rep. It was just him and like some really small time distributor that like didn't even care about his job.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
he was like 65, he just wanted to sell, he wanted to be out. And but a few months later he knew that I was interviewing for other places, and he was like, "Okay, I don't want to lose you." So he was like, "Okay, commission based, 2000 base pay salary plus commissions." So I still had to wait tables. Um, but then
2000 base pay
2000
a month or
a month, yeah, plus
okay.
commission. So I still, needed other
Yeah,
income.
because it's Los
And so
Angeles and it's $1 million
yeah,
a week to fucking live here.
yeah, and so but then very quickly he promoted me to a salary, like larger, like
Hmm.
livable. And then I got another raise, and then another raise, and
Yeah.
I am the sales manager of Sespe Creek Distillery. We are a smoky bourbon, mesquite smoked.
You love a smoky
Oh,
whiskey bourbon.
it is the best.
Mm.
And it's funny because you know, we have one, two, we have roughly three other reps, myself, a distiller, two warehousemen, and a board of investors.
Hmm.
Uh, and, I'm not making as much as I was at Balcones, but they value my opinions. They hire who I tell them to hire. They make the
That's so
changes.
invaluable.
Yes, they make the changes that I think should be made. And so, I always say, because it's hard, it's really hard to grow something, So, um, worst case scenario, it's a startup, and I mean, even though we're an established distillery, it's still a startup. And if it goes belly up, who knows? It looks really good on a resume, and I've learned so much because I'm participating in marketing all the time,
Hmm.
and my day is always different, which thank God, because I can't have the same day twice. I can't have the same day 3 days in a row.
Hmm.
It I need I need that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel you on that. It's like I'd rather have a
clocking
little bit
in.
of chaos than
That's why I loved restaurants, because at least it was kind of different. But like
yeah.
clocking in was always very like depressing and hard
Yes.
for me. It really
Yes.
was. And so, so now it's just like um, I manage reps, I sell,
Hmm.
which is really hard. Selling can be like over a posh dinner with somebody that likes you, or like y- some 70-year-old buyer in the basement of a liquor store is blowing smoke in your face and like yelling
No.
at you. Oh yeah, all that. So it's
Do you think
there's
that I mean, I imagine
selling
it can
sucks,
be
dude.
it feels like it's a double-edged sword to be a beautiful woman because it's like on
Yeah.
the one hand, like I think you can draw people in initially, but then on the other hand, I think people can discount you as
Yeah,
well.
I think it's pretty fair. Like I think that I get in places that like our guy rep in San Diego doesn't get in because he's
Mm-hmm.
not a cute girl like flirting. But also there have been so many times where I have no ego about it. I'll just text one of the dudes and I'm like, hey, call this buyer and ask about this. This is a situation I think, well, where we need to put a dick on it. You know what I mean? Like there are a lot of times where I'm like, hey, I already told him this. He didn't answer me. You call him now. Like it
Yeah.
it'll be better. I can eyeball it. It'll be better coming from a guy. Um, but yeah, dude, sales sucks. It's really hard, but I do like that it's always different. And then so I mean, I get investors, and I wine and dine investors, and I have a team meeting tomorrow where I'm like jazzing up the team, to prepare
Yeah.
for this the Son season of selling and like um what else? I mean, and then I also like go to the distillery and I bottle and I put the labels on the bottles and I like load up smokers and, when they need us in production, when they need extra hands on. So I was thinking about it. I'm just like, I don't know if there is a woman that does what I do. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I
Because you're
don't,
doing so many things. You're not
yeah,
filling just one role.
yeah. And this distillery is done really, really well. LA is really hard to sell in, but LA loves an underdog.
Yeah.
And
Why do you think it's hard to sell in?
oh God, just because, especially in bars and restaurants, like it's so I mean, just like imagine cold calling,
Mm-hmm.
and just like, hi, do you want to buy this whiskey no one's ever heard of? And like every bar manager, so oftentimes the attitude is just like, get the fuck out of my restaurant,
Right.
like get the fuck out of my
Or you
bar.
need like some celebrity backing, which
Yeah.
is,
Yeah. Oh my God.
tough.
Oh my God, yeah. And we actually like in the wrestling world, in the MMA,
Mm-hmm.
and I do not like fighting. It hurts my feelings, but we I don't like fighting. It's like I don't even like seeing it on TV, like somebody throwing a punch, but like our one of our partners that created the cask strength whiskey, Josh Barnett,
Mm-hmm.
is an MMA fighter, and the the distillery was so excited when he was creating this bourbon for us.
Mm-hmm.
And then he and I went out to sell, and so many guys would come up to him at like gas stations and like in the
Uh-huh.
valet parking and just be like, "Hey man, I'm a really big fan." And I'm like, "Oh, you're famous.
Yeah.
Okay, like that's
Yeah.
cool." And I mean, he's such a doll. We've talked about him on podcasts
Yeah, it's
before.
still
Like,
so funny to me that you were like, "Oh, I'm working with Josh Barnett," and I'm like, "I met him." I mean,
well,
I don't, I wouldn't say I
I
know
wanted to
him, but yeah.
I wanted to. It was so funny because he's such a doll. Like, a year and a half ago or so when he didn't have a girl, he's such a doll, first of all. He's brilliant and gentlemanly. And can I say brilliant 80 times? I think he's like fluent in Japanese, well traveled, also is like a D&D nerd, and I mean, in terms of setting him up with like top shelf ladies, my God, I feel like I could have sold him. And I was like, hey, what about Josh Burnett? And you're like, actually, I run pretty deep with the heavy metal community in LA. So I'm like, what? So you're like, yeah, we have too many friends in common. And I'm like, okay, that sounds like Lisa. Just like, actually, no, I'm
I kind
like,
of randomly know everyone. Like
I know, it's so
I know
funny.
somebody in every different little circle of
Like if
Los
you told me
Angeles.
like, yeah, I founded the Aeronautics Club in Calabasas, I'd be like, of course you did. No, yeah, sure. That sounds like you. But yeah, and then just the last cherry on the top is on the top of the sundae is a website that I had written for, but before they asked me to co-edit, and it is. I mean, and this like I don't know. I always joke about this because there's that line in The Office,
Hmm.
where they're like, "Yeah, this award is the most prestigious award that a paper salesman can get in northern Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
but like in terms of whiskey review sites, it is the most popular review site in the world. It is the most trafficked. So
I
the most
love
hits.
that.
Yeah, so it's it out of all of them, and I know all of them, so it's like Bazi and like Kurai, like we're always on each other's tails, but yeah, we're always the one with like the most hits. So that's fun.
That's
It's fun.
great. That's
Yeah, I mean,
excellent.
no pay, but there's a Patreon, so there is, money in it I can allocate, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's
it's
great.
fun.
I think that you're really building something
I hope.
really cool. And I think it's also, um, you're such an asset to different whatever company you worked for because you love to learn and you're really
Yeah.
excited by it. And I think that's key because I think so many people in every field will like get to a certain point where they're like, well, I've learned enough and I'm done.
I'm gonna
And
coast. Just
yeah,
coast.
and that feels like
Phone it in, wing it on your way to
yeah,
work.
it's like
Everybody does it to an extent.
why? Then why
Speaking
are
of
you doing this?
speaking of fields,
Hmm.
though, it's funny because editing this website, I learn every day, and my ears are always kind of perked to distilleries that resemble mine a little bit. Mine, I mean, the one that employs me. Um, and there's one near your hometown in Indiana I just
Oh
discovered
yeah.
yesterday. And literally, if you like Google Map it, it is a field in
Hmm.
this town that has 250 people.
Of
And it's
course.
it's a family-owned distillery. And this guy, James Fruit, appropriately named, fruity bourbon whiskey,
Hmm.
he is really cool. Like his interviews are very humble and funny, and he's pretty much just like, yeah, I went to Purdue, so I'm a degenerate. I know a lot about alcohol. And, but yeah, it's called Old 50 Distillery.
Uh-huh.
Old 55 Distillery, and it's completely craft. They're not like a sourced, from MGP. Like it's a legitimate like craft distillery. And so if you or anybody related to you is ever around there, stop by because
Yeah, I
it's
might want
really
to pop
cool.
in. My family is more like they like to just guzzle beer and get hammered. They're
Mhm.
not connoisseurs of
There's
any type.
I've never seen a distillery that doesn't have a lot of beer around.
Oh, okay. Well, there you
Yeah.
go. I
Yeah,
could
because
send them there.
beer is baby whiskey. So, yeah, you asked me something once about like the chemistry of why if you shake up a bottle and it
Hmm.
retains its bubbles, like why is that the mark of an exquisite whiskey? And I
Hmm.
still don't know. I don't know why a higher proof that retains its bubbles when you shake it up
Uh-huh.
is thought of to be good. I just know that it is. You know
It
what I
could,
mean?
do you think it could be just lore?
Yeah, oh my God, yeah. And also there are no rules. Like
Hmm.
the master blender of Glen Glasso and Glen Dronick and Ben Riek, um, her name's Rachel Berry, again, like appropriately named for like the fruit of whiskey,
Hmm.
Rachel Berry. Uh, she really loves to take bros to task that are just like, oh, well, if it's a young whiskey, it's not good, or if it's chill filtered, it's not good, or if it, has coloring in it, it's not good. And
Hmm.
she's just like, she has this philosophy of like whiskey is a art and a science, so you can't really put a ton of
Yeah,
rules
it feels
there.
like with different wines, I've had the privilege of having like very, very expensive wines with a former boss. And some of them I'm like, this actually tastes like dog shit. And I'm
Really?
so sorry you paid $1,000 for this
$1,000.
bottle.
Yeah.
But you're dumb dumb and you should have gone to Trader Joe's and gotten a $5 bottle of wine. Like
Right.
some of them I'm like, oh, you can tell this it has a different quality to it. And
Mhm.
some of them I think people are fooling themselves.
Absolutely. That makes sense. But at least like because I'm so into it, if I had the money, like I would pay for something that expensive that I didn't actually like the taste of as much just
Mm-hmm.
because I have the bottle and the label and like the piece
Mm-hmm.
of it, like just the
Yeah.
experience. So, I mean, it depends certainly, but like uh I I do find a lot of in like private collections, especially of like, I mean, always older, wealthier men, they go for these really high age statements that are really expensive because they're trophies. And
Mm-hmm.
I always want to be like, there's not only like bottles out there that you would like better, but they're cheaper and they're way cooler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because they're more
So.
boutique or
Yeah, just the the story behind it, the equipment, the experience,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just cooler. So, yeah. Blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah. But
no,
yeah,
I
now
love it. So what do you
no,
think
no,
is
I
next for you in whiskey?
just more of this. Do you know what I mean? You just in in these economic times, Lisa, who
Do you have like
knows?
a long-term goal of starting your own whiskey or anything like that? I
Oh
mean,
my
I know
God.
you
I
had
mean,
said it's like
no, 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 no.
crazy expensive.
I mean, no, but I mean, I'm pretty ambitious with our vodka and our bourbon. Like I want it to be the McDonald's of bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
That's
mean? Like
hilarious.
I want it to be like one of those things where it's in every country and every
Mm-hmm.
well and there's no reason and it's economically priced, which is good. But yeah, I'm ambitious about that. But I'm also not attached to it because if everything, you know, just if we bite it hard, can I be your personal stylist?
Yes, please, please. I would love that. I would
Yeah.
actually, now I'm not rooting for whiskey to work out for you because I would rather you just be my stylist.
Oh my God,
Can
it's
you work
so
for
fun.
free for a while?
Yeah, right.
'Cause-
We no, it's for the exposure.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah, totally.
absolutely. I'm not sure what
Oh,
exposure you're getting, but
it's so fun.
I'll take
It's
it.
so fun. A buddy of mine told me that he like lost a bunch of weight. He looks great.
Uh-huh.
Evan Kessler, he's a comic. He's like he has all these events coming up and like he's
Mm-hmm.
booking a bunch of commercials and he's like, my clothes don't fit me anymore. Like what should, and I feel like he should not have asked me that because like I'll send him eBay links at like 3 a.m. and I'm
I
just like,
love
can't
it.
wait. Sorry.
I'm
Sorry.
always game. I'm always game.
Yeah.
I love your suggestions,
Oh, it's so
and
fun.
appreciate them.
But yeah, yeah, so we'll see. I mean, we're really leveling up. We have a team meeting tomorrow and it's a big deal because we're
Mm-hmm.
all getting company cards finally.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah, we are leveling up. So now like gas and parking and account support, things that have had to come out of our own expenses, and then we send the receipts in and like 30 days later we get it back. It's like if you're living hand to mouth like a lot of reps are,
Uh-huh.
it's
That's
not
not tenable,
feasible.
yeah.
Yeah. So now this is going to really kind of boost everyone, I think. But yeah, I'm really good at it and I love
Yeah,
it.
you
And
are.
I love it when people um challenge me, especially men. It's always men. It's never been a woman.
No,
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 no. I think a
never.
woman would never question what you're doing. Even like another woman in whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Yeah,
how men are. They just decide that you don't know what you're talking about, regardless of what it is.
oh man, I was so mad the other day when that guy was just like, "You're just commenting on this Me Too thing
Yeah.
for clicks, and you're probably gonna lose them." Ooh, it's 11:11. Make a wish.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but he's like, "You're probably gonna lose them just as soon as you gain them," and it's like, first of all, I'm not because this thing that is not Me Too, it is adjacent to Me Too. It happened because there is Me Too backsplash
Yeah.
and I didn't comment on it when it happened. I didn't chime in, I didn't pile on. I waited a healthy few months to like garner some
Yeah.
perspective and, you know, uh, so to say that I'm like trying to vulture
Yeah. It's
a
so
like a
rude.
right like a social like wave for clout. It's just like you don't even like I've been writing about whiskey for years. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Yeah,
I
this
didn't just
isn't like just some opinion you made up out of thin air.
Right. I didn't just decide like, oh, there's a whiskey critic that's sexist. Well, I'm a woman. I'm gonna write about it.
Yeah.
It's like,
No,
anyways. But
it's
yeah,
very
they're
silly.
in all of my articles on the malt review. There, you can always go into the comments, and there's always some buffoon. Like
Hmm.
I said once that I was talking about the Lefroy, which I tell you that story all the time about like the Prince of Wales had
Yeah.
a plane accident. He was in the pilot seat. His plane crashed in the backyard of Lefroy, so he had to stay overnight at Lefroy and fell in love with the whiskey, and it has its royal seal, like to this day.
Yeah.
And
It's such
I
a great
loved it.
story.
It is. It's just like a prince can land in your backyard and like
Like
change everything.
literally.
Yep,
Literally.
literally. And so I made some comment about Prince Charles being an amateur pilot.
Uh-huh.
And this guy took me to task on that. He was like, he was in this and then like served in the Air Force and did that, blah, 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 blah. And like,
You can be in the
and
Air Force and not be a pilot, by the way. Do
thank
people
you. Like,
understand this?
first of all, like the Air Force has a huge washout rate of
Yeah.
pilots they train that never fly again. And the hours that you have to put in to always maintain your license, which Prince Charles let lapse after that accident, you know what I mean? And so this guy just tried to call me out, like, not about whiskey, but just like, well, he's not an amateur pilot, like the minutia.
Lord.
And I'm just like, actually, this is what happened.
Yeah.
And I was able to like um, just kind of also say like he was an amateur pilot. Like, also, who's gonna tell the prince that he's fucking up in the cockpit? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No one is.
I
Yeah.
mean, but also, my dad is a pilot, so I'm like, Dad, tell me else why this, like, why else did this guy suck? Like, you know what I mean? And so he sent me this like Asperger's paragraph back, like it was, like it was like as big as like the war in like the novel War and Peace, and I was like, fuck you. Like, I can't let it go. I won't let a guy tell me. I
I'm
can't.
very similarly wired where I can't let something go if somebody's coming for me like that, and I know it's only rotting my brain to continue arguing with them, but I can't. I'm like, no, fuck you. I will show you that I'm right.
Not, I don't think it's rotting your brain at all. Do you know what I mean? I think it's an exercise in creative writing
Hmm.
and like, you know what I
Yes,
mean?
there you
And like,
go. And it's
and
good to learn how
maybe,
to argue better.
and maybe that guy won't embarrass himself, you know? But the things, I mean, Jesus, this one time I hired a cinematographer, this like beautiful director, and got this gorgeous location in this really cool little speakeasy bar. And I had this like little whiskey video
Hmm.
where I was talking about the Glenfiddich, and this idiot is just like, it's pronounced Glenfiddich. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
And I'm like, what,
Lord.
like what, like, and I just, you know, annihilated this guy, and like we're not friends anymore.
Good.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just like, did you, first of all, a simple Google search, you
Yeah.
know, but like, I mean, why would somebody not in my industry think that I would like record and post a video where I have not double checked the pronunciation of something?
Yeah,
You know,
it's really funny. I have a friend that reminds me, this is a total side story, but my
please,
friend
no, please interrupt
Tova,
me. I'm like, "Ugh,
my friend
ugh."
Tova, when she was in high school, was arguing with her friends over whether the brand is pronounced Ralph Lauren or Ralph Lauren.
Mhm.
And she was so sure that she was right that she wrote the company and they wrote her a letter back and they were like, no, you were correct.
Oh my God. So pre-internet.
Yes. She wrote a physical letter because she was like, enough. I'm correct here.
Oh
And
my
it's
God.
like
I love
that
her
level of
tenacity.
pettiness. I love it so much. And I point people to this story all the time because I'm like, it's actually the best.
No, I don't think it's petty at all. I think maybe it's because I'm a Sagittarius moon, but it's like, you know that
Yeah.
Dana loves to use this expression like, well, you could be looking at a nine that is written on the floor, and I
Hmm.
could be looking at a different angle and like say that it's a six.
Hmm.
And he loves to say like, we're both right. Two things can be true, but I'm like, no, 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 no. Because
I'm the
at
same
one
way because I'm
point,
like, no, you're standing in the wrong spot.
or I am, but at some point, somebody wrote either a six or a nine, you
Yes,
know?
exactly. I fully
And
agree with that.
so and it's not about like me being right either.
Hmm.
It's about just what is actually the correct answer so I can continue without embarrassing myself.
Yeah, I
You
know,
know?
but for me, it is important to be right.
Yeah.
I'm an
Yeah,
asshole.
yeah, no, I hear ya. I hear ya. There are sometimes like there have been incidents where I'm just like, put a lid on it, Cat. Like,
Yeah,
I'm right, but it's better to look gracious
yeah,
in
for
this
sure.
scenario.
I
Um,
had. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna add, like, I've got therapy in 10 minutes
Oh,
because
I was just gonna say I have one last question for you.
please, oh yay.
What if your childhood self could meet you, like 11-year-old Cat, if she could meet you now, what do you think she would think?
Oh my God, she'd be obsessed with me.
I
She would, oh
love
my
it.
God, she would love me. She'd be like, "Can I braid your hair? Will you braid mine?" Like, you know, yeah, oh my God. 11-year-old Kat was definitely a disruptor, always getting
Hmm.
told to shut up in class. And yeah, and I, I always wanted tons of attention,
Yeah,
and loved talking and meeting new people and you know so yeah, yeah,
I love
um
it so much.
yeah, she, oh,
Well,
I
I
wish.
think you're dope. And I think 11-year-old me, if I met you, I'd be blown away. I'd be like, who
would
is this cool ass
But
woman?
wouldn't 11-year-old you like you after you just like were on that fantastic boat and like scared that guy on the jet ski, you know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you just be like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah?
I think 11-year-old me would be like, oh, I'm still me. Check that out.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
because that
still
was, I
me.
mean, boating was my life when I was a kid.
Yeah, I think that's so interesting. Like you taught me what a certain boat was, and I'm like, I'd never even thought of that. Like cool vintage
Oh, Chris
boats.
Craft,
Yeah.
I'm obsessed.
And then
If
you said
anyone listening, if you want to
literal
buy me
dream
a,
boat.
yeah, yeah,
But I so a literal dream
yeah,
boat. That's so funny. Dude, you know how to
yeah,
pilot them.
yeah,
That's
I'm pretty
scary.
good. I've been
Yeah,
licensed since I was 9 years old, so
I guess so.
don't
You,
come for
but
me, anyone.
you wanted to scare that
Oh, that
skier.
was
You
my
so yeah.
goal. Yeah. For anybody who's wondering what the hell we're talking about, you got to go to my Instagram, Olympian Lisa Curry, and check out my highlights from Dubai, which was so fun. The most
Oh
fun time.
God, you were like, I'm coming back soon. We'll catch up, and I'm like, no, stay there. It looks so wonderful. It just every corner looked like, yep,
Yeah,
that's what I would imagine
yeah,
Dubai
that's
looks
really
like.
funny. I love
Oh my
it.
God, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on today. It was so great talking
Oh
to
my God,
you,
this was
and
that you
always
like
great to see you.
gassed me up so, or I gassed myself up too. I'm like, I'm the best. But now
You are the best.
I'm gonna get on like with my therapist, and I'm just gonna be like, things are great. Don't need you.
I love it so much. Well, thank
Yeah,
you so much for being here.
likewise. And then and come bring Luna.
Yes, I will for sure.
Yeah,
All right, talk
yeah.
to you soon.
Okay, bye, sweetie.
Thank you so much for listening. Once again, that was Kat Ageson. You can find her on Instagram at Whiskey Sommet. It's WHISKYSOMMETTE. And also check out her blog, The Malt Review, and that's themalt-review.com. They also have a lot of great stuff on the website for, gift giving. If you want to look on there, hop on the website and plug in what you're looking for, and they can help you out. And again, as always, I am Lisa Curry. You can find me on Twitter at Lisa_Curry and on Instagram at olympianlisacurry. As usual, if you're enjoying the show, please like, subscribe, write your congressperson, have a seance, awake the dead, just the minimal things to do for a podcast that you're really enjoying. All right, thanks so much, and we will see you next week. Bye.